Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Please take your seats and silence all electronic devices.
Test. Back a test.
The 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, welcome to today's 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Change of Command ceremony. Today, the outgoing commander, Colonel Walter T. Rugen, will relinquish command to the incoming commander, Colonel William D. Taylor. The host for today's ceremony is the commanding general of the 2nd Infantry Division, Major General Thomas S. Vandal. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation to be given by the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Chaplain, Major Insoon Hoagland.
Let us pray. Mighty and gracious God, we thank you for your presence at this change of command. We humbly ask your blessings upon Colonel Walter T. Rugen and Colonel William D. Taylor as they pass between them the guidance of command. As it passes, strengthen them both in the task to which you have called them. Go with Colonel Rugen and his family as they prepare for their new assignment and challenges and opportunities in Washington, D.C. Remain with Colonel Taylor and his family as he leads the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade to new heights of excellence. May your never-ending love, strength, courage, and guidance be ours as we serve. Amen.
Please be seated. At this time, Staff Sergeant Marshall Duran, the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, is presenting a bouquet of red roses to Colonel Rugen's wife, Leanne, and a single red rose to Colonel Rugen's daughter, Victoria, on behalf of the Talent Brigade soldiers. At this time, Specialist Raul Garza, the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Best Warrior of the Year, is presenting brigade coins to Colonel Rugen's sons, Jacob and Wesley, on behalf of the Talent Brigade soldiers. taking his position on the field is the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade's Executive Officer and Commander of Troops for today's ceremony, Major Peter Schmidt. Joining him are the brigade staff consisting of the Brigade Adjutant, Captain Kenya Wiggs, the Brigade Intelligence Officer, Major Marcus Evans, the Brigade Operations Officer, Major Dick Dunning, and the Brigade Logistics Officer, Major Toshihide Sasaki. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing as honors are rendered. Taking his place on the field as the host for today's ceremony, Major General Thomas S. Vandal, accompanied by the outgoing commander, Colonel Walter T. Rugen, and the incoming commander, Colonel William D. Taylor. Representing today's salute battery are the soldiers of Bravo Battery, 1st of the 15th Field Artillery, under the direction of 1st Lieutenant Joseph McKeever.
Sound preset, oath!
Please be seated.
Sound, order, arms, and parade, rest!
Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Vandal, Colonel Rugen, and the commander of troops will now inspect the command. Army Aviation has been a part of the 2nd Infantry Division for over 45 years. The 2nd Aviation Company was activated at Fort Richardson, Alaska on 20 June of 1957 to give the Indian Head Division an organic aviation unit. In February of 1963, the 2nd Aviation Company was reorganized and redesignated as the 2nd Aviation Battalion. In early 1979, the 2nd Aviation Battalion was designated as a separate battalion under the direct control of the Assistant Division Commander for Support, and Echo Company 702nd Maintenance was redesignated as Charlie Company Able, 2nd Aviation Battalion. During the summer of 1984, Alpha Company 2nd Aviation Battalion fielded the UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter. In April of 1988, the 230th Attack Helicopter Battalion was formed. The 2nd Aviation Brigade, 2nd Infantry Division, was officially activated on 16 September of 1988. The ceremony reorganized the formation of the brigade and activated the 2nd Aviation Regiment under the Army Regimental System and renamed all units in the brigade. The 230th Attack Helicopter Battalion became the 1st Battalion Attack 2nd Aviation Regiment. The 166th Aviation Battalion became the 2nd Aviation Battalion Assault 2nd Aviation Regiment. The 2nd Aviation Maintenance Company became Charlie Company, 2nd Aviation Regiment. The 4th Squadron, 7th Cavalry Regiment was renamed 5th Squadron, 17th Cavalry in January of 1989. In March of 1989, the brigade participated in its first major exercise, Team Spirit. The brigade proved itself a formidable force in the 2nd Infantry Division and solidified its place as an area maneuver brigade across the entire length and breadth of the battlefield. On 16 October of 1993, Charlie Company, 2nd Aviation Maintenance Company, was reorganized under the Division Support Command. On April 5th of 1996, 5th Squadron, 17th Cavalry was renamed 4th Squadron, 7th Cavalry Regiment. On 17 July 1996, 1st Battalion Attack 2nd Aviation Regiment was redesignated as an AH-64 Alpha Apache Battalion, and in September of 2001 completed the transition to an AH-64 Delta Longbow Apache Attack Battalion. In 2004, the Department of the Army ordered the transformation of Army Aviation into fully modular combat aviation brigades. In Korea, elements of the 2nd Aviation Brigade, 17th Aviation Brigade, 18th Medical Command, and the 23rd Area Support Group merged into the 6th Cavalry Brigade, forming a single combat aviation brigade. The 6th Cavalry Brigade was redesignated as the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade and attached to the 2nd Infantry Division on 16 June of 2005. The brigades consisted of 2 attack helicopter battalions, the 1st Battalion, 2nd Aviation Regiment, the 3rd Squadron, 6th Cavalry Regiment, 1 Assault Helicopter Battalion, the 2nd Battalion, 2nd Aviation Regiment, 1 General Support Aviation Battalion, the 2nd Battalion, 2nd Aviation Regiment, the 602nd Aviation Support Battalion, and the 164th Air Traffic Services Group. In 2013, The 1st Regionally Aligned Rotational Force, 4th Squadron, 6th Cavalry Regiment, was assigned to the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, completing the transformation of the brigade. The 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade is proud of its distinguished heritage and remains a dominant maneuver force and the 3rd dimension centerpiece of the 2nd Infantry Division. The brigade stands ready to answer any call to arms in defense of the Republic of Korea or in the cause for freedom for our great country.
Attention! Sound, officers and colors, center! March! Present. Present the command. Sound, preset, arm! Detachment, preset, arm!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthems of the Republic of Korea and the United States of America. Please be seated.
Sound, order arms, and parade rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official party will soon commence the passing of the brigade colors. They'll be joined by Command Sergeant Major Esteban Soto Rosado, the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Command Sergeant Major. The change of command ceremony is a military ceremony that is rich with symbolism and heritage dating back to medieval times. Soldiers often carried staffs or standards into battle that identified them as a unit. Throughout our military history, unit colors have marked the position of the commander on the battlefield and has served as a rallying point. While attacking or rallying on the battlefield, soldiers would follow the standard or colors of their leader, most often found at the forward edge of the battle. In more recent times, the colors represent not only the heritage and history of the unit, but also the unity and the loyalty of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever you find the unit colors displayed, you will also find the commander. The passing of the unit colors represents the transfer of authority and responsibility for the unit from one commander to another. The Command Sergeant Major is the keeper of the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, you will now witness the passing of the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade colors, officiating a change of command between Colonel Walter T. Rugen and Colonel William D. Taylor. By authority of Regulation 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, effective 5/2/2014. Signed, William D. Taylor, Colonel, Aviation Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 2nd Infantry Division, Major General Thomas S. Vandal.
Hey, what a great day in the Republic of Korea. You got a nice breeze going, and we got a great formation in front of us. Lieutenant General Mrs. Champeau, Command Sergeant Major Troxel, Command Sergeant Major Devins. Major General Retired Bay, Vice Mayor Saw, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the 2nd Infantry Division and the 2nd Aviation Brigade, but most importantly, to the soldiers of the best aviation brigade in the United States Army, welcome and thank you for joining us for today's ceremony. I'd like to give a special welcome and shout out to Wally's family, his wife Leanne, daughter Vic, and sons Jake and Wes. We're glad to have spent some time with you over the last week, and we know you'll be glad to get the family back together again. The change of command ceremony is a time-honored tradition that marks the formal transfer of authority from one great commander to another. Today's ceremony is an opportunity for us to recognize Wally Rugen for the superb performance as Talent 6 over the last 2 years, and to welcome Colonel Hank Taylor into the history and lineage of the Warrior Division. I'd like to first extend my sincere appreciation to our very own 2nd ID Band and the 1st to 15th Field Artillery Salute Battery for providing us with their superb music and the cannon salute. Chief Hager, the band is a valued asset to the division and always represents the Warrior Division through their incredible music. I'd like to do a special shout out today to Specialist Schiller, our division bugler. He sounds great. Thanks for all you do to represent the division and show that you are truly second to none. Please give them a big round of applause. Oh. I also want to recognize the officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers who stand here in formation. The reason for much of Talent 6's success, and in my professional opinion, they represent the best aviation brigade in our Army, hands down. Talent soldiers, I want to offer you my personal thanks for what you do each day to make this brigade the most versatile, powerful, and capable combat aviation brigade in our Army, and for making the reputation of the Talent Brigade what it is today. Please join me in recognizing all of these outstanding warriors on the formation. Under Colonel Wally Rugen's steady hand, outstanding leadership, and operational experience, this brigade has flawlessly executed an amazing number of missions in support of the critical ROK-U.S. alliance. 2nd Cav has worked tirelessly to help preserve peace and deter aggression on the Korean Peninsula, and has been superbly led by Command Sergeant Major Barrios Powell, who transferred responsibility yesterday, and Colonel Wally Rugen over the last 2 years. Colonel Rugen arrived in Korea in June of 2012 for his 2nd tour here on the peninsula. His professionalism, dedication, and technical and tactical expertise in aviation operations made him the ideal commander to lead the talent team to become the most flying and the most ready aviation brigade in our Army. When I think about Wally, I see a warrior leader who not only strives for excellence in himself, but who also inspires excellence and professionalism in all those around him. Much has happened over the last 2 years. The talent team has excelled in executing realistic, combat-focused training events at all levels, which includes conducting hundreds of combined joint and U.S. air assault operations across the Korean Theater of Operations, Japan, Guam, Thailand, and the Philippines. This brigade has successfully conducted 50 combined joint U.S. live fire exercises and maintains an enduring aviation mission in Operation Enduring Freedom in the Philippines. The CAV has also conducted challenging overwater training and is one of the only aviation brigades in our Army to qualify in deck landings over water. In short, Colonel Rugen has provided the leadership that delivered the essential elements of readiness to ensure the Warrior Division and U.S. Forces Korea Commander has a suite of tactical capabilities and options while remaining ready to fight and win when called upon. As the only aviation brigade on the peninsula, their support did not stop with the division as they fulfilled the requirements that used to be conducted by 2 aviation brigades in years past. The Talent Brigade's many successes include the execution of more than 50,000 flight hours without a single safety incident, increasing the combat capability of the division by raising the aviation crew readiness across his brigade by almost 50%, and implementing strategic aviation maintenance initiatives, allowing his brigade to fly cheaper and more efficiently than the Army average, and saving tens of millions of dollars for the division and the military as a whole. Achieving this degree of readiness is a challenge for any aviation unit, but here in Korea, Colonel Rugen took it to another level. He flawlessly integrated the 4-6 Attack Reconnaissance Squadron, the first regionally aligned rotational force to the Korean Theater of Operations. He successfully transferred 14 CH-47 Delta aircraft to our ROK Army partners while fielding the first CH-47 Foxtrot models in the KTO. Alongside these 2 significant accomplishments, he sustained a strong alliance with 7 ROK Aviation Battalions and the ROK Aviation Operations Command. In addition to his focus on aviation, Colonel Rugen has developed a super relationship with our local Korean community and ROK military counterparts, always mindful of the importance of building the ROK-U.S. alliance. The outpouring of local community support during his tenure is a testament to the relationships that the commander and the other members of the talent team have worked so hard to develop. The Warrior Division will miss Colonel Rugen and his tireless efforts to build readiness across the brigade. He returns to the States for his follow-on assignment at Headquarters Department of the Army. Wally and Leanne, Dorian and I wish you both all the best as you move on to your next assignment at the Pentagon as the Division Chief for the Aviation Division within the G8. Colonel Rugen, you can be very proud of what you have accomplished over the last 2 years. And know that your legacy to our soldiers in this division is truly second to none. I'd like to welcome Colonel Hank Taylor and eventually his wife Kristen and their family, Cassidy Garrett, Jackson, Katie, and Patrick will remain in the States until Cassidy graduates from high school next year. This is almost like a homecoming for Colonel Taylor. Hank served here in the land of the morning calm in 1998 as the Delta Troop Commander for 4-7 Cab in the 2nd Infantry Division at Camp Stanton, Korea. Hank comes with an exceptional reputation as an aviator and warfighter, and your leadership will be a true asset to the brigade. Hank's most recent assignment was the 101st Air Assault G3, where he recently redeployed from RC East in Operation Enduring Freedom, where he serves as the J3 for the CJTF 101. Hank, you have come at a time when the division is transforming and will need a strong leader to focus on 3 priorities for the brigade: readiness, relationships, and leaving a legacy of positive, motivated subordinates. You are now responsible for one of the most lethal and agile forces in the Army, and much of our ability to deter war here in Korea depends on you and these magnificent, talented soldiers. You have a great team assembled here, and I am confident you'll take them to the next level. Talented soldiers, you and your actions represent the very best of Army aviation. Our division, our nation, and our alliance could not be better served. Thanks for all you do for the 2nd Infantry Division and the Republic of Korea. Second to none, Pacific victors, Kachi Kapshida.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, Colonel Walter T. Rugen.
Well, good morning. Lieutenant General and Mrs. Champeau, Major General and Mrs. Vandal, Command Sergeant Major Troxel, Command Sergeant Major Devens, Command Sergeant Major Spano and Mrs. Contrary, Brigadier General Peterson, Brigadier General Chang, Brigadier General Cho, Major General Retired Bay, and Vice Mayor Saw from Pyeongtaek. Fellow brigade commanders, distinguished guests, and friends of the Talon Brigade, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here today for this ceremony. A special thanks to all those who made the trip from up north, out of town, and all points. I'd also like to thank the firing battery, the division band, and the color guard. Just immense majesty, and thank you for upholding our Army traditions. Let's give them one more round of applause. There are many people I would like to thank this morning, and I know I'll likely forget to mention many key people that have played roles in ensuring the success of 2CAB over the past 2 years of my command, so I apologize up front. I would like to start off by thanking God for making this day possible and for overseeing the safety of this brigade and our families over the past 2 years. Lieutenant General Champeau, Major General Vandal, I appreciate your trust and confidence for giving me the opportunity to command the Talon Brigade, and for all your trust and confidence. Major General Vandal, sir, thank you for your outstanding leadership, guidance, and for the care you and Doreen provided to the soldiers and families of 2CAB. You have provided great vision and direction for the 2nd Infantry Division and 2CAB in all areas, but most importantly in leader development, training, rotational forces sustainment, and modernization. So thank you, sir. Thanks to Lieutenant General Kim, Lieutenant General Lee, and Brigadier General Chang from ROC AOC for your exceptional partnership, mentorship, and friendship. Your initiatives on combined staff training with the Talon Brigade taught me more about O-plan readiness and combined airspace deconfliction and fires integration with ROC forces than I ever would have thought possible. Thank you to the AEOC. To Vice Admiral Park and Captain Shin from the ROC 2nd Fleet, thank you for, and your team for rekindling an old relationship and training hard with 2CAB during multiple maritime exercises off the West Coast, and also the extensive ship deck time you provided our air crews. Command Sergeant Major Barrows Powell, thank you for leading and mentoring our soldiers and providing me with wise advice and counsel many times over. To CW5s Dowling, Reed, Greer, Burnett, Dela Cruz, Nissen, Osborne, and CW4 Ward, thanks for your counsel and advice as my board of directors, especially concerning matters in mission accomplishment, aviation training, and safety. Thanks to my all-star staff led by DCOs Lieutenant Colonel Van Zandt and Hamilton, XOs Major Owen and Schmidt, and S3 Lieutenant Colonel Smith. S1 through 6 were tremendous in every way. To my fellow brigade commanders with whom I have served over the past 2 years, Colonels Bannister, Rago, Lawson, Eichberg, Weinrith, Chief of Staff Colonel Doherty, G3, Scott Taylor, and the rest of the division staff, really, thank you for your friendship and willing to work together on many tough aviation issues. The Peninsula and our dynamic mission set required us all to work closer than ever together to ensure all of our brigade's success. Great support, great friends. It's been an honor to serve with each and every one of you. To the 4 DCGs, Major General Williams, Brigadier Generals Peterson, Laughlin, and Burton, you were all great coaches, and I used you often. To our remarkable team of GS and civilian contractors, and the support our soldiers and our aircraft you gave was just essential to keep us flying. I especially want to say thanks to Mr. Tiger Yim, Mr. Paul Bush, and the USR team. You are indispensable. To Mr. Saul, Vice President or Vice Mayor of Pyeongtaek City, Mr. Kim, Vice President of Korean Airlines, Mr. Ko, Vice President of the Quad A Morning Calm Chapter, Mr. Kwan, President of the Second and None Soldier Support Group, Mr. Kim, President of the People to People Pyeongtaek Chapter, and Mr. Park, President of the Katusa Veterans Association, and so many other patriotic Pyeongtaek citizens who support the Talon Brigade. You represent the best of the Republic of Korea and the Pyeongtaek community with your support. On behalf of the Talons and their families, thank you. You've made this a home away from home. To the Humphreys Garrison, Colonel Darren and Lori Conkrite, Command Sergeant Major Purnell, thanks for your support to 2CAB and taking on our many projects and needs. You always answered your phone, and the support was quick and unmatched. To Ms. Trish Hamilton, I'll just say thank you again for taking care of the soldiers and families of this brigade as the FRG leader. Thank you to all my battalion commanders, Colonels Snow, Duncan, Hopkins, Walsh, Watkins, Rayburn, DeSaulnier, and Jonke, all my company commanders, all my first sergeants, and all the battalion staffs. You made my job easy. Soldiers of 2CAB, you look outstanding. I've recently had the opportunity to thank all of you at many events during the past week, so I'll attempt to keep this short. You are what this day is really about. This brigade has run very hard, and the pace will not slow down as I leave. I am very proud of the soldiers in this brigade for what you have accomplished and what you continue to do in support of our great ROK-US alliance. During the Korean War, Army aviation became indispensable for medical evacuations, reconnaissance, command and control, and transport. This is where we were born, this country. Today, the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, along with our U.S. and ROK aviation partners, represent a proud 60-year lineage of defending the Republic of Korea. Every day, you stand ready, executing missions in a forward-deployed environment while maintaining some of the highest operational readiness rates across our Army. Together, you have a wide array of capabilities that can support any ground commander in deterring aggression and defeating our enemies. You guys are razor sharp, you're tireless, and you're tireless when it comes to generating combat power for our ground force. You're absolutely the best in our Army. These proud colors represent thousands of air missions, gunneries, air assaults, medevacs, mass attacks, recons, VIP transports, exhaustive aircraft and ground maintenance, overhauls, modifications, and tens of thousands of staff actions, done to the highest standard. And here's the important point. This team is ready and waiting to support the ground force in bringing the fight to our enemies. You guys are trained, resourced, and ready to fight tonight. Thank you. Well done, Talons. I never had to worry when you had the mission. Talon families, thank you for what you do to support your soldiers and each other. You've made a lot of sacrifices throughout the years, and I thank you for what you do to make this unit special. To my wife, Leanne, I love you, and I can't thank you enough for the love, support, and everything you have provided me. You've built me up over this long separation. You're an amazingly strong woman who still managed to take care of me from 7,000 miles away. I'm blessed to have you with me. To my children, Victoria, Jacob, and Wesley, who've had to live without me around very much over several years, I'm so proud of the young adults you've become. You're resilient and you're emblematic of the sacrifices all military children make. I love you all very much. Thanks for putting up with me and supporting me. Hank and Kristen, congratulations. Hank, I know this brigade is in great hands and will only get better under your leadership. Best of luck to both of you in command. Talents, there's no more noble calling in the world than to be a soldier in the United States Army. May God bless America, and may we always have the privilege to serve her. Second to none, Kansanarida Kachikapshida.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, Colonel William D. Taylor.
Annyeonghaseyo and good morning. I'd like to say thank you for everybody being here on this perfect Korean morning. To all our distinguished guests that were already previously recognized, once again I give you my personal thank yous for being here and attending this ceremony today. Today is a great day for myself as I return to the Warrior Division and assume command once again here in Korea, ready to fight tonight. Lieutenant General Champo, Major General Vandal, thank you very much for this opportunity to once again join the team and to command these great soldiers that are out here on this field. I'd like to thank the band, the salute battery, and the honor guard for their great performance this morning. Let me thank Colonel Wally Rugen, too, for his incredible openness and transparency over this duration of this transition. I would tell you that what I've seen is really the sign of a great unit and a great leader, and Wally, I say thank you once again for all that you did for me during this transition. One of the key feelings that I have felt during this transition is the incredible esprit de corps and the morale of the soldiers of this outstanding brigade. Truly a sign and a testament to the success of Wally and his team over the past 2 years and all the accomplishments they've had. Wally, once again, thank you, and to this team out here, thank you for your service and all that you've done here for the people of Korea and the United States Army. I'd like to say thank you to my family who wasn't able to be here today, but Kristen's preparing. She has a bag packed, ready to fly to Idaho for our first grandchild to be born. So good luck, Kristen, on that trip, and I look forward to you getting here in just about 10 months. It's a great honor to command in this historic division as we trace our warrior history back to World War II, and as we sit here today on 5 June and think back over 70 years ago, the 70th anniversary of the landings of D-Day during World War II. It was this great division on D+1 that crossed the English Channel to land on Omaha Beach on 7 June, and then continued the attack through those operations. What a great honor it is to be once again a part of the lineage of this great organization. And so with that incredible history, we continue that same tradition of winning today with our Korean partners and all of our joint forces here on the peninsula. Soldiers of the Talon Brigade, I just ask you to keep up the great work that you've done and continue to stay ready as we fight and get prepared to fight tonight. Talons, second to none, Kapsi Kachida.
Sound attention! Sound, officers and colors, post, march!
Approaching the reviewing line is the Commander of Troops, Major Peter Schmidt, and the brigade staff. Ladies and gentlemen, the units of the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade will now pass in front of their commander, who will be in review for the first time as the brigade commander. Now approaching the reviewing line is the 2nd Infantry Division Warrior Band, commanded and conducted by Chief Warrant Officer 4, Thomas Hager. The drum major is First Sergeant Frank Barlow. Headquarters and Headquarters Company of the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, commanded by Captain Stephen Moore. The First Sergeant is First Sergeant Anthony Ibarra. Approaching is the 2nd Battalion, 2nd Aviation Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Barton Johnke. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major James Johnson. Now approaching is 3rd Battalion, 2nd Aviation Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth Cole. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major LeFarris Baker.
Ready, front!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and render honors as the colors of the United States of America and the Republic of Korea march past. The 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade Color Guard is led by Command Sergeant Major Estefan Soto Rosado.
Ready, front!
Now approaching is 4th Battalion, 2nd Aviation Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Linda Saunier. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Ronald Puggies. Now approaching is the 4-6 Attack Reconnaissance Squadron, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Brian Watkins. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Stanley Williams.
Front!
Approaching is the 602nd Aviation Support Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Michael Rayburn. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Gary Sanders. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the 2nd Infantry Division Warrior March and the Army Song. The words are found in your program. France in 17, in the hail of the First World War, with infantry and proud marine, we bravely fought against the cannon's war. Across the Hampton, Meuse, and River Marne, our name and our fame were won. We marched on by with our flags held high, and they called the second to none. Their song, we're the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, and fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count up the cadence loud and strong.